So Hugh, you're now going to talk us through the process from start to finish of making a Fox solid umbrella.
Yes, that's right. At the moment, John in the background here is working on ash solids. It's one piece of wood grown from what we call coppicing. First stage, as you can see, is John is marking the umbrellas for cutting in the slots to put the springs in. From this stage it goes to a machine over here where the slots are actually cut in. After that we build the frame around the umbrella.
And that should be complete.
Well, now we have to make the canopy for the umbrella, and this is done by using a high-grade polyester cloth. And this is hand cut. Once the cover has been put together, it then goes to the hand sewers who will hand sew the canopy onto the umbrella, which finishes the umbrella beautifully.
And can you tell us what's the most crucial part of this process?
Well, every part's crucial, even down to the little points of hand sewing. It's the care and attention to each umbrella we make that's so important to us.
So Hugh, can you give us a little about the history of Fox Umbrellas, please?
Fox Umbrellas was founded in 1868. It's traditionally a family company. It was in the same family for 3 generations.
And can you tell us about your longest standing employee?
Yes, well that would be George. He's been with the company over 50 years and really he's a master craftsman.
I can do just about everything. Cutting, frame making, finishing, anything you like. Make umbrellas for the tallest men in England. Haven't made one for the smallest one yet.
And Hugh, have you got a question you'd like us to take back to the Met Office and get answered?
My question would be, is it what we put into the atmosphere entirely that's changing our climate, or is it also related to where the planets are in their cycles, the sun is? Does that also alter the climate?
Hey Kate, how's it going?
Hi Rob, good thanks, how are you?
I'm very good, I've got my gym kit. What's going on?
Well, I brought you to the gym to give you an answer to Hugh's question.
Oh, I love it, let's go. So Kate, can you tell us how much of an impact the sun has on the temperature of our planet?
Right, well for that we're going to need a prop. I'd like you to carry the sun.
I'd be delighted.
So the sun's strength can change, but also the distance between the Earth and the sun can change, and that can change the temperature on our planet quite a lot. So the strength of the sun can change on 11-year cycles. We have a sunspot cycle, but that's really a very small change. It's only 0.1%, and it has a very tiny effect on the temperature of the Earth. It has longer timescale changes, so in the 1650s it was a bit lower, and it's increased since then, but only really a tiny amount, and actually its increase has plateaued since about the 1960s, and it's since the 1960s that we've seen this really rapid rise in temperatures. So although the sun's output can change, it's not sufficient enough to cause the changes in temperature that we've seen today.
So if it's not the sun, is it the distance between the Earth and the sun?
You're right. So there's 2 things that can change the distance between the Earth and the sun. There's the tilt, so if this is our Earth, and this is the Northern Hemisphere, and this is the UK, the tilt of the Earth relative to the sun can change, but also the orbit can change. So for some of the time, the orbit of the Earth around the sun is circular, and then some of the time it's slightly more elliptical. So at the present day, if this is our Earth and the UK, during our winter time, when the Northern Hemisphere is facing away from the sun, we're actually relatively close to the sun, which gives us quite moderate winters. But then 6 months later, in our summertime, this is when the Northern Hemisphere points towards the sun, we're actually quite far away from the sun, which gives us moderately cool summers. But in a few thousand years, this all changes and the tilt changes so that in our winter time, when the Northern Hemisphere is away from the sun, we're actually really far away from the sun, which gives us really extremely cold winters and allows much more ice to build up. And then 6 months later, when we're in our summertime, we're actually much closer to the sun, giving us really, really warm summers. It's those sorts of changes that are big enough to bring on ice ages.
Okay, so are these the sort of changes which are affecting the changes of temperature on our planet at the moment?
Well, no, these changes happen on 20,000 years to 100,000 years plus timescales. They're much longer timescale things than we're seeing at the moment. And also, the last glacier was about 18,000 years ago, and we've already gone through that rapid melting and warming of the planet from that ice age. The only other way to change the temperature of the Earth is to change the radiation balance, and that's the balance between what's coming into the Earth from the sun versus what's coming out of the Earth.
Are we talking about greenhouse gases and aerosols here?
You're right. In short, the temperature changes that we've seen over the last 100 years or so are mostly due to what we've been putting into the atmosphere.
Well, Kate, thank you so much. We can put these down now and maybe pick up some weights in the gym. You still for that weights workout?
Sounds good?
Okay, we'll start off with maybe some bicep curls and then some